And now, a public service announcement from your friends at Two Jerks, One Bourbon.
There was one more thing, and there's something I want to ask you about, but I don't know if you want to get into it in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Memorial Day is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about your Facebook feed, but between me and the wife, and we were talking about this, I think, yesterday, you've got people who are talking about, oh, I'm going to have this great big barbecue, and we're going to have this parade, and da-da-da-da. And then you have people on the complete opposite end of the spectrum going, this is a day of remembrance, how dare you people throw a party, that's not what this holiday's about. So it dawned on me that you would be the perfect person to ask what, as an American civilian, what do you think is the proper way to go about Monday?
Well, it's only one person's opinion. I think that barbecues and the like are fine. I mean, of course, the American servicemen and American servicewomen come from every single possible walk of life, to include, the sorts of people who would think that a cookout might be disrespectful. But I would think that by and large, any of our fallen servicemen and servicewomen, most of them would say that they didn't die so that we could just sit around and wear black every fucking week, every year in remembrance of them. I think most of us, if I died in Iraq, I wouldn't want my family to sit around and wear black and listen to The Cure, on Memorial Day because I'm gone. You can't fix the fact that I'm dead. You can't. So, I'm not saying that it's a good idea to celebrate Memorial Day by getting loaded and pissing in a frickin' street alley or something. But if you're going to get together with some friends and have a cookout, I don't see the problem with it. If you want to be classy, I would say have some kind of moment of silence beforehand. Maybe a prayer if you're the religious sort, or a moment of silence where people can do whatever they want to do. Nothing. Think about somebody that they've lost, or pray if they're the praying sort. That'd be a way to keep it classy. But I don't agree with those people who are like the stick in the mud types that are like, oh, you should never have a cookout on Memorial Day. That's not what it's for. I mean, I agree that the day is not a celebration; it's a remembrance. But if you're gonna get together and have a cookout, I mean, it's as good of a time as any. It's right in the middle of the fucking summer. How are you gonna have a holiday in the middle of the summer and then, or at the end of the spring, beginning of summer, and then get pissed because people are cooking out? They gotta fucking eat.
I kind of figured along those lines, but I took it more from the perspective of you and I have both been to plenty of freaking funerals. There's always something happening after the funeral. After you put the person in the ground, there's always, okay, now we're all going to meet up here and eat and have a few drinks. Maybe not when I was 15, I wasn't drinking at that age, but shit, I've lost friends, I've been to their funerals, I've lost family members, I've been to their funerals, and afterwards there's some kind of get-together. And it's let's eat, drink, and be merry, and celebrate the fact that this person walked amongst us, they brought us all together, we had some great times with them. So, I mean, partially I grew up having barbecues and cookouts on Memorial Day. That's what my parents did. That's what, growing up, that's what everybody did, was got together, had some kind of a barbecue. And yeah, in recent years, you do get the stories of people who blew off a hand lighting fireworks, or got so pissed drunk that they ended up peeing in the middle of a shopping center. Or so. You get the idiots, but I think at that rate it's more they were being an idiot anyways. It just happened to fall on a day. But I couldn't quite wrap my head around the people who were sitting there and saying, it's, I as an American citizen, and maybe, maybe this is just me, maybe this is everybody, I don't know, but I looked at it as, this is a day of remembrance, but like you said, I can name so many people that have died that I don't think would think it was very respectful that on the day that they died, I just decided to wear all black and, fucking cry myself to sleep over the fact that they're not here anymore. No, people die. And, we have a day dedicated to the people who have died so that we could continue to have barbecues and elect TV stars to office and have fidget spinners and American Pie and what.
It's not to say that you shouldn't be sad, or think about the lost people and everything, the lost soldiers, but and there's plenty of people that the day is going to hit close to home, but and I can't tell them how to spend their day. They might spend it wearing black and listening to The Cure. I know I wouldn't.
But that's their choice. That's their personal preference.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't enforce that on anybody else.
You wouldn't mandate it to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to one extent, a lot of people complain that we're becoming too PC and we're becoming too touchy-feely, and I think this, that viewpoint could border the viewpoint of this is a solemn day of remembrance and we should all be sad about it. Like, that does kind of push towards that boundary of, we're getting a little too touchy-feely and we're getting a little too, I like to think of our founding fathers as people who never took themselves very seriously unless they were killing another motherfucker to make sure that they could continue to not take themselves seriously.
Yeah. It's people forcing their opinions on other people that way. It's the same as religious bullshit, Yeah. If you don't think that God wants you to drink, then don't drink. Don't mandate that everybody else has to not drink in order to keep your stupid God happy.
Yeah.
If you think that God would get you for having an abortion, don't get one. Don't mandate, that nobody else should get one. Just you can't get one, or God will get you. Yeah. If you think it's disrespectful to have a cookout on Memorial Day, don't have a fucking cookout on Memorial Day. Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of people who feel that way and won't. Don't shove it down anyone else's fucking throat.
But at the same point in time, I didn't subscribe to your way of life, so, I'm going to go ahead and take the Lord's name in vain and do work on a Sunday and, however else I see myself fit. And that's, I never understood that about my mother. My mother is the first person to sit there and say, like, oh, well, my religion this, my religion this, my religion this. But it's like, Ma, if I don't subscribe to your religion, then what?
Mm-hmm.
Is God going to punch me in the dick because I work on a Sunday? Like...
No, if he was going to get me, he's had 34 years to fucking do it. I ain't worried about it now.
Two Jerks, One Bourbon is a product of the twisted minds of Lincoln Chrysler and John Miller. Feel free to distribute at will. If you like what you've just heard, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/2jerx. You can also subscribe via RSS using the app of your choice, or find us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.